In 2025, Fairmont Crest reaches its darkest milestone, as the 5 most disastrous romances of Beyond the Gates shatter all at once, exposing the distortions, schemes, and betrayal-soaked secrets that have long simmered beneath the gleaming steel gates of this elite community. It is no longer a place of love, but a labyrinth where every relationship is stained with possession, deceit, and obsession. Everything feels like a field of fractured mirrors, reflecting the true face of Fairmont Crest, a place where beauty is nothing more than a thin coat of paint hiding a world that has been rotting from the inside out. The tragedy begins with the story of Ted and Eva, 2 people who seem to have finally touched a fragile peace when their father-daughter bond was mended after years of being torn apart. Yet that fleeting moment is quickly smashed to pieces when Alan appears with the cold, merciless truth that Eva had been switched at birth, when she was still just a newborn. From love and gratitude to layered wounds and heartbreak, everything collapses into chaos as suspicion rises that Ted may have known this truth earlier and still chose to stay silent. For Fairmont Crest, nothing is more painful than the realization that a lifetime of affection might have been placed in the wrong place. And for Eva, it is the moment when everything that once helped her stand upright turns to ashes, leaving her lost even within the very family she believed she belonged to. The second tragedy is no less twisted, as Danny and Bill drag each other into a toxic spiral so destructive that it becomes impossible to distinguish where love ends and manipulation begins. Danny confesses to Joey that she once drugged Bill not out of hatred, but out of fear that he would leave her. She needed Bill weak, dependent, and blindly devoted to her presence in his life so that their relationship would never escape the loop she had created. But that confession unintentionally opens the door to a silent war between 2 powerful men, Joey, determined to strip away Danny's sick hold over Bill, and Bill, who, though deeply wounded, must still confront the truth that he has lost himself in a love built on unnamed substances and invisible strings. Meanwhile, Danny herself falls into the very pit she dug, trapped between her obsessive need to possess and the rising panic of realizing that the world is turning its back on her. Fairmont Crest barely has time to breathe before the third storm erupts between Kat and Tomas, a love story that seems solid thanks to Kat's fierce determination, yet has been decaying from within because of the secrets Tomas buried in his private space. When Kat discovers Tomas' locked, password-protected box filled with items Eva once touched, from a notebook and a glove to an old silk scarf, she understands that for Tomas, Eva never truly ended. That box is like a museum of obsession, a shrine to a past love he cannot lay to rest, and it forces Kat to face the realization that the love she received was never enough and perhaps never really hers to begin with. Everything she has is just a reaction, a hurried substitution for another feeling that Tomas has been trying to hide. For Kat, it is the collapse of trust. For Tomas, it is the moment he is forced to look directly at his own shadow, the very shadow that has turned him from a lover into a guilty man in the eyes of the woman he is with now. The fourth relationship belongs to Leslie and Carlton, 2 people who seem mature, who have survived enough heartbreak to know how to protect each other. Yet that very familiarity becomes the perfect disguise for betrayal. Carlton secretly copies Leslie's fingerprints to open a hidden trust account, then funnels all the funds into a mysterious foundation under the name AH. To Leslie, that act is not merely a financial betrayal, it is a betrayal of trust, a stark sign that Carlton is hiding something far bigger than the usual lies. The appearance of the initials AH plunges her into turmoil as she begins to suspect that Carlton may be quietly funding an anonymous woman connected to Eva, perhaps even the biological mother Eva has never known. Each clue leads Leslie deeper into a maze of doubt, where every step pulls her toward darker possibilities, and where Carlton's image drifts farther and farther away, no longer the man she once believed could be her anchor. But the peak of distortion in 2025 lies in the final story, the dark romance between Joey and Vanessa. No one would have imagined that Joey, the man who always appeared calm and strong, had spent an entire year living in such fear and obsession that he meticulously recorded Vanessa's every move in a dark-covered notebook. When Vanessa accidentally discovers that notebook, her heart feels as though it is being crushed in someone's fist. Each page bears the trace of a months-long surveillance, detailed to a chilling degree. Yet what hurts her more than the control itself is the reason behind it. Joey did not do this out of love, but out of fear that she would eventually reveal the truth about Doug's death, a secret that has clung to him like a shadow he can never outrun. Their love is no longer love at all, it is a binding, an invisible cage in which they are both imprisoned, one trapped by guilt, the other by fear. 5 romances, 5 truths warped and bent together weave a chaotic web that engulfs Fairmont Crest. No relationship remains pure, no truth remains intact. Every form of love in this place is just a pretty shell hiding possession, control, obsession, and lies that have been carefully fed over the years. Fairmont Crest does not only glow with the light shining from its luxurious mansions, it also glows with burning secrets, ready to explode at the slightest spark. And 2025 is precisely the moment when all the masks finally fall, revealing the true face of a place once thought to be a kind of paradise, but in reality nothing more than a sophisticated glass cage, where love does not exist to lift people up, but to lock them in.